Good morning, my name is Jacob Folger. I'm an artist sculptor, and today we're going to make a fairy door. We're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to add vines to the door made out of copper wire. And the first thing that we need to do is make the frame of the door, and we're going to make blocks. So we're going to start by rolling balls of clay, all the same size, to form those blocks from. This is Polymer clay. I'm using Sculpey 3 brand, and I'm working in black because I like the way the finishes look on black. So I'm just forming it, as you can see, with my fingers like that. If you notice my hand shaking, I have a nervous problem in front of the camera now. It's a new thing, and well, that's how it goes. So if you could just bear with me, I appreciate it. And so that's what a block should look like. Now, before we started, I made several blocks. And the best way to put these together is when you join two pieces, two blocks, you score them where they're going to be joined. And then you take a piece of wire like this to support them, and then twist them together like that, and that's how it should look. Score them where they need to be joined. By the way, what I did was I took and cut all the wires I needed and stuck them in the clay like that. Just makes it easier to manage. That wire came out the front a little bit, so I gotta stick it back in there. Then I'll do the other side. I was just sitting here and I was looking at a picture of one of my hammered wire pieces, and we're not going to hammer these today, but I was looking at them and looking at a picture of it, and I thought, you know, that would look really good on a door frame. That's how the idea was born. Get another one on there. Now we're going to kind of turn this a little bit. Turn this. And put this these blocks at an angle, so they join like that. And then go ahead and score them. Put a wire in there. And that will just make it a lot more sturdy. The other thing you want to do is, since there'll be wires laying on top, is you want to make sure that this is flat going across. So you can just press down with your thumb like that. There's not really a bump there, basically, is what I'm saying. I'm just going to knead a little bit of clay here and get it a little bit softer sitting there. And put in a door by just taking little bits of clay. If we didn't put a door in there, we wouldn't have anything to sculpt to make it look like a door. So that's why we do that. Kind of push it into the door frame with your finger. You can slide your finger down to smooth it. You can take a sculpting tool shaped like that and just carve it in. You can press it down to smooth it like this, get it a little bit smoother. I kind of like it a little bit rough because it's, you know, kind of an old door. And then you can take a knife and cut it off at the bottom. Like that. You also can use your knife. I like to kind of define old doors as planks. So sculpt lines in the door like that. That one was a little bit close to the other. You kind of erase that one. Like that. And let's see, take a paintbrush here I've got and put a little hole right about here, like that. and then take my sculpting tool and set it in the bottom of the hole and fan it back and forth to make a keyhole. Like that. Let's kind of smooth these boards down a little bit. We should make a door ring. So take a piece of clay and roll it out into a noodle. Put it around this paintbrush. Use the paintbrush as a form. Bun the ends together. Set that on the door like that. And then you can take a little piece of clay that can fit down in that hole. Like that. And then it becomes like a little bracket to hold the ring on. And we need to make a threshold for the door. Okay, we're going to take a bit of clay and kind of form it into a noodle shape. And then squeeze it somewhat flat. And you can press it against the table to make it like a stone step. Shape it like that by pushing it against the table on all sides. And it's okay, it's a little rough. Hair on there. Just doesn't matter. See how that's going to work. That should be about right. So it should look like that. And then take your knife or your sculpting tool and score the pieces to be joined. Some wires in there. And just press it up against there. I want to get it pressed up tight against the bottom of that door. So that's what we got so far. Now we need to make our vines, and let me show you how I made my my vines. I have a couple made already, a few made. Basically, we take the wire and taking advantage of the curve of the spool that it's on. This is 18 gauge copper wire. Okay. There's a lot of copper colored aluminum wire out there. You don't want that. You don't want that. You want copper wire, 18 gauge. So you cut off a length. And then take a pair of beading pliers. And turn it around them like this. So it becomes a spiral. And you can make different lengths of it. And then what you do is you reach your... Sorry about my hands. I mean, I can't do anything about it, believe me. You grab the very end there and turn it. Down. And that will go into the clay. And the same thing on the other end. So it looks like that. And then it can bite into the clay. And I have some others made here. Just press them down into the clay. Let's see. And you can see I joined them, just butt them up against the next wire. Like that. And you can go up as far as you want, really. I want to leave that like that, and then on this side I want it to be just a short one. Like that. And what you can do is you could do this before or after. You can take a paintbrush. I like to do it after because I can put it where I want it around the copper. But I put the paintbrush in the powder. Let me show you. Put it in the powder and then dab off most of the excess, because I want the copper to be really bright. This is Pigments Antique Bronze. Just lightly go over it. And I want the copper to be the bright thing. So I don't want the bronze to be very bright. I'm going to need some more on my brush now. Dab off most of it. That way you can leave the black in a way highlighting the copper, so that it's not really highlighting, but it's just using that for an example. It's and then you could do the door in color. I would do it subdued. Maybe do this is Duo Red Blue, Prolex Pigments also. Cleaning my brush off in my rag in my lap, and get some, put it on the lid, then dab off the excess. And see, I'm keeping it subdued, but it's got color. And then silver. Clean my brush off really good, because these colors, you don't want them getting in one another. Dab off the brush really good and put it on subdued, and then maybe on the threshold. There we go. And then if you look in the video description down below the video, you'll find baking instructions. The oven will not hurt the copper. It'll be just fine. And you just want to make sure that both ends of the copper feet part that go down into the clay are well seated there, and you'll be alright. That's about it, and that's how you make a fairy door with copper vines. If you like this kind of content, please subscribe to my channel. I have many videos along these lines. Give me a thumbs up. Let me know what you thought of it. And share the video with your friends. And leave me a comment. Thank you so much for watching. Have fun. Have lots of creativity in your life. And have a great day.